Hello. This video will cover how to use our feature called Device Forensics. This feature can be used to look at individual Wi-Fi clients as well as individual access points in more detail. And it can be used specifically to help you cut down on the troubleshooting time you spend with individual clients. So let's go ahead and click on our conference room sensor. And we'll start here with our Wi-Fi clients tile. All right, so I clicked on this, and what we see here is a list of all the clients visible to our sensor. So something to understand about how we show you clients is we're looking at the channels that the sensors are monitoring. So in this case, the sensor is monitoring channels 6 and 44, and we see a number of clients on both of these channels. Now, historical data is available with our clients tile. Let's click Show Historical Data. And we show you a rather interesting graph, okay, because you can see historically the client load visible to the sensor, and it's also color-coded, meaning we can tell you the technology level of your clients based on what we see in our packet capturing. So we see in green are those clients that support Wi-Fi 6, blue are clients that support AC, orange are clients with the older N technology, and then anything older than that, the ABG technology, that's in yellow. Okay, so this can be used to help you identify areas where you have a high population of brand new Wi-Fi 6 client devices. And maybe those are situations where you want to expedite an upgrade to Wi-Fi 6 access points if you haven't done so already. Take advantage of that new Wi-Fi standard. But to look at these individual clients, here we see this table that includes a lot of these clients. Now, some of them we actually see host names for. So let's click here on M. McNeil at bayouter.com. I'll click the magnifying glass. It's going to take us to our device forensics screen. So on here, we see specific information about this device. At the top, we have their username. So this is a .1x username. So we will automatically pick up those usernames of clients connecting to your .1x networks. We have their MAC address viewable up here. Now, we can also discover host names via DHCP inspection. The way we would do that is by looking at the VLANs that we have exposure to. On the switch port, you have the Wyebot sensor plugged in. So what I recommend is to have your sensors on switch ports configured to match that of your access points, assuming you're tagging your SSID traffic at the AP, meaning you have the native VLAN or the untagged VLAN matching that of your wireless management VLAN. And then all of the SSIDs, so, Bay employee, if that's on VLAN 10, right, you tag that or add it to the trunk on that switch, and then we'll see into that SSID for the DHCP traffic. Okay, so that's just one way to help you find host names a little bit easier. It's not necessarily a requirement, but it does make the dashboard look a little bit nicer. We also show you client info. Now, under client info, what you see is the capabilities of the client based on, what we can, again, tell you from our packet capture. Okay, so this isn't necessarily how the client's connecting, but it does say, what it could be capable of, meaning this client has AX, that's Wi-Fi 6 technology. It supports a maximum channel width of 80 megahertz. Its max theoretical data rate would be 866.67 megabits per second, and it's got a 2x2 two-spatial stream radio. Now, the client status, this is more current data for the client. So we give you that signal strength, the AP they're connecting to, the SSID, the channel, if they're currently online, and which sensor they're closest to. And then really the most powerful feature here on Device Forensics is this historical chart. So this is going to show you anytime an individual client had a problem, Wi-Fi related, in the past 30 days. So if I click on one of these data points here, let's look here, we see that this individual, among some others, had some high retry percentage. We have a threshold of 15%. We see this device had 16% retries at this time. So, we have a solution, of course, to move those clients to 5 gig because we see all these retries are happening on 2.4, right? But this really does help you cut down on your troubleshooting efforts because you can go right to a table that shows you anytime an individual device had a Wi-Fi related issue. Now, retries are not the only thing we show you. We also show you, let's say, a client put in the wrong password. Maybe they failed a .1x authentication. Maybe they got de-authenticated by the access point, right? These are all this isn't all the issues, right? But that's some of the issues we can show you with this tool to really help you cut down on those efforts you'd spend looking through the logs on your controller. Now, you can also search MAC addresses up here as well as device names, kind of to work backwards, right? So if you have a device, let's find an example of this here, where we see Wi-Fi packet retard percentage too high. I'm going to pick one of these devices at random. Okay, let's look at, how about Mike, right? That's a good example. Let's copy this MAC address here. And we're going to go to DeviceForensics. And we're going to paste that in here, okay? So now we can search, here's Mike, right? You know, and we see down here, anytime Mike had a problem, which is rather frequent. So, you know, Mike's got to fix his Wi-Fi drivers or something like that. And we see down here, you know, the same username by multiple devices. You know, quite a variety of different things that occur historically, just to really give you some more information about those individuals in more detail. So that's how you use device forensics on the client side of it. Now, the access points as well, we can look at those in more detail. So let's go ahead and click on the access point tile. Okay, so here's the live list of APs that we see nearby a particular sensor. Okay, so in our environment here, this is a corporate office. There's lots of neighbors. So we see lots of APs, right? And you can quickly see the channel that they're using, the tech, the data rate, signal strength. And again, there's a magnifying glass. So if there's something you don't quite recognize, we can click a magnifying glass to help you identify that. So here's an Apple, right? This is a, you know, an Apple chipset. It's got a Wi-Fi hotspot coming from it. So let's click the magnifying glass here. And we see information about this access point. So, you know, we have the MAC address here, chipset vendor, last seen sensor, as well as the signal strength. So you can kind of use these two pieces of information together to physically locate these devices. And then down here under the radio stats, we tell you which channel they're using, channel width, max data rate, as well as the SSID name, right? So here you see this is hidden, right? So we actually are able to tell the name of this hidden SSID because in certain circumstances, we can see users connect to those and pick up the name, you know, via that information that we can gather. Okay, so that's the device forensics view on the access point. Now, we do have another video that covers the access point side of it in more detail where we talk about the AP classification, where you can actually classify those APs and set up alerts based on how you classify them. So you can take a look at that video for more details on that subject. But that's about it for the device forensics. So definitely encourage you to make use of that, and it'll help you cut down, again, on that time you spend looking through those logs and hopefully make your job much easier. So again, you know, any questions you have beyond that, check our documentation, help documentation up here. It's got links to, you know, guides for the dashboard, you know, knowledge base articles for different controllers. So very useful resources in here. And then, of course, always don't forget you can email us, support@wyebot.com. So if you have any questions that were not addressed here in this video or on the documentation page, we encourage you to reach out and we'll get that answered for you. So that is our device forensics. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.